Hi guys, my name is Shonis Marizani and I'm the founder and director of AddValue Digital Private Limited. Under AddValue Digital Private Limited, we run two businesses, one called 27 Interior and the other one called AddValue Digital Consulting. I'm doing this video to warn and to alert anyone who might be, using the internet, or anyone who uses a phone basically, about an ongoing scam that has been happening. On the 14th of August 2023, right around 5 p.m, I received a notification on my phone saying that my SIM card has been swapped and I needed to contact the sole provider if I wasn't the one doing the SIM swap. Right at that moment, I tried to contact the service provider and I realized that I had already lost service. My SIM card was no longer working. I no longer had access to my number. The time I tried to check my WhatsApp, it was gone, meaning someone had already gained access to my WhatsApp. And this is the WhatsApp that I use for business. I also tried to check my other social media accounts that were linked to that number, and they all were hijacked. These individuals that did a SIM swap on my number gained access to my business social media accounts, 27 Interior.com being one of the accounts on Instagram. They also gained access to my TikTok page, 27 Interior at that time, which we eventually managed to gain back access. It's unfortunate that we didn't manage to regain access to our Instagram because they changed passwords and Instagram is not really strict when it comes to issues like this. And at that moment, we realized that they had started contacting our customers. They downloaded our invoices that we were sending to the customers, changing banking details, and started sending our customers fraudulent invoices with their banking details. It was a very dark moment for me in my business. Together with my colleagues, we didn't know what to do. We tried to contact the authorities. We tried to contact the cell service providers. Eventually, I managed to gain back my number. I managed to gain back my SIM card. However, it's unfortunate that Instagram social media account that we lost was now being used for a very big scam and fraud activities, because they didn't change our branding. They didn't change our business address, physical address. The only thing they changed is the number on the invoice, the account number on the invoice, and the contact number on the invoice, as well as the email. They created a Gmail account they started using to defraud people. A lot of people fell for this. Most people would come to our office demanding refunds, demanding services or products that they had purchased from these fraudsters. Unfortunately, because of the scale of this fraud, we could not compensate all of these people. However, on the 15th of August 2023, I went and opened a case with the South African Police Service of fraud. I presented the evidence I had that day. Remember, this is the day after the SIM swap and the hacking happened. After providing them with the evidence, they opened a case, they launched an investigation. But until December, there was no lead to who is actually doing this. And this is until the 10th of January, when these guys who actually hacked my business opened a website. They opened a website, which is basically 27interiorsa.com. And they also were defrauding people using that website. The idea was obviously to try to look legit, because using the Instagram page that they had hacked, a lot of people would look for a website and they would find our legit website, and then they realized that there was a scam going on and probably not purchase from them. But after realizing that they created a website, a fake website, obviously to try and make people believe that they are a legit business, and a lot of people also fell for that website scam, and they also started purchasing, and it continued. So one of these days I decided to actually start doing my own investigation, and I accumulated all the invoices from the victims that we actually know that have paid to these guys. With the help of other individuals that have knowledge in cybersecurity, I managed to figure out the name and the surname of the author of these documents. Using a very special software, I managed to find out who the author was, what software were they using, and basically used that information to start, digging for further investigation. Eventually, I managed to figure out who this guy was. He's actually an IT professional who's based in Pretoria. I decided to dig even further and realized that he had a legit business that he was also running that provide digital marketing services and web development services and also graphics designing. So using that information, I decided basically to act as a customer who wants their service so that I can gain access to this guy, because I realized that if I had to confront him, telling him that he's basically doing fraud using my business name, he was going to basically try to delete the evidence and run away and disappear. So I decided not to do that and engage him as a customer who wants a service from his legit business. And after sending him a message, he responded and he told me that he would send an invoice. I requested that he send an invoice to an email address that I provided so that I can pay for the services. He agreed to do that. I also requested that we meet up and then I can explain to him what we need, and I can also give him, some of the products that I wanted him to brand for me and, offer a service for me on. He agreed and he actually sent me an address to go to that address. The address was basically in Santon Hotel. That morning, I went to the police. I told the police about this discovery, the investigation, what I found, and what steps I was going to take from there. I informed them that the individual agreed to have an appointment, and they advised me that I should set up an appointment at 12:30. I told the individual, or I requested that we basically meet up at 12:30. I went to meet up with the guy, and the moment I met up with him, he already knew who I was, so he started panicking with anxiety. And before he even knew, I told him that, look, I'm here because you are using my business to do fraud, my business name, my business registration number, to do fraud. And a lot of people have been complaining. At that moment, I also notified the police, or I also told the police that I had met with the individual, and they actually showed up at the scene and they detained this guy. We went to his room where he was living in the Santon Hotel, and he said he didn't have the key to the room, but eventually the hotel security managed to get us the master key and they managed to gain access into the room. As we walked in the room, we realized that there was a lot of, dodgy stuff that was happening in that room. And we all asked him to basically open the laptop that he used to create the invoice that he sent me. After that, we opened the laptop, we realized that the invoice that he actually created for me was on that laptop. We also realized that the fraudulent invoices that they were sending to people was on that laptop, basically the system they were using to create these invoices. And from there, the police arrested him. They took him to Midrand Police Service. He claimed that he is not the one that was creating the fraudulent invoices, and he suggested that it could have been his partner because he has a business partner. The business partner is the one with the name that is on the author on these invoices, as well as the owner of the software that they are using to create these invoices. He actually agreed that this software was only the two of them who are using it, and it was secured by a unique username and password, which means there was no one else who could use the software. So the police decided to go and get the partner as well, and both of them are actually detained at the Midrand police station. So I'm doing this video to actually just alert a lot of people that if you are going to be doing any purchases online, make sure that the business you are doing a purchase from, you at least meet the people, or you at least visit their office or their showroom or their shop before you make any payment, because a lot of people made a lot of payments to these individuals and they lost money. So be careful, guys. And if you have been defrauded and you probably think that the people that defraud you are linked to this case, kindly DM me, or you can go to the Midrand police station and follow up on the fraud cases that are there. You might actually get help.